Welcome back, adventurers of the internet. Do you miss the days when technology was just useful, when it toasted your bread and cleaned your laundry? Today we're going to find out if AI can be just as useful. We're going to ask it to create some stats for our favorite fictional monsters. This is a Balrog. The description from Lord of the Rings reads, "A Balrog is a powerful demon of fire and shadow. Originally a Maya spirit corrupted by Morgoth, towering in size, it is often depicted as wreathed in flames and darkness, wielding fiery whips. Balrogs evoke terror and destruction, with the most famous being Durin's Bane." Let's see how ChatGPT does with creating stats for the famous Balrog. Here he is, the epic Balrog. Gargantuan fiend, demon, chaotic evil, armor class 22, hit points a beefy 600, strength plus 10, dex plus 4, con plus 7, charisma plus 9. The epic Balrog is charismatic. The Balrog has damage resistance to cold, fire, lightning, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons, pretty standard. Immune to poison and psychic damage. He is also immune to Charmed, the Frightened, and the Paralyzed effect. He has True Sight, Dark Vision, and a 22 passive perception. Understands all languages it knew in life but cannot speak. Okay. Here are some Balrog traits. He has 5 legendary resistance a day, an infernal flame aura. The Balrog emanates an aura of flame in a 30-foot radius. Any creature that starts its turn in this area takes 30 fire damage. Aura of Despair. Creatures within 60 feet of the Balrog must succeed on a DC 24 Wisdom saving throw, or have disadvantage on saving throws against being frightened and charmed for 1 minute. His actions include multi-attack with a Flame Whip, Fiery Claw, and Infernal Blast, the latter of which the Balrog unleashes a wave of fire and darkness in a 60-foot cone. Each character within that cone has to make a dexterity saving throw or take 80 fire damage. He also has access to Cataclysmic Eruption. The Balrog causes a massive eruption of fire and shadow in a 120-foot radius centered on itself. Each creature in that area must make a DC 24 dexterity saving throw or take 100 fire damage. Also, the area becomes difficult terrain and heavily obscured until the end of the Balrog's next turn. Pretty cool mechanic. His legendary actions include movement, claw attack, flame burst, or dark visage. Unleashing a terrifying roar. Each creature the Balrog's choice within 60 feet must succeed on a DC 24 Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed with fear. And finally, we have some lair actions. Shadows of Despair, a 60-foot radius thing here. Infernal Flame and Rumbling Quake. If you're looking to spice up your next D&D campaign or one-shot, and you want to do so with some fire and some shadow, maybe the Balrog is the perfect solution to that desire. Next, we're going to look at another fictional character that we all know and love. This is a Dementor. They are dark, terrifying creatures from the Harry Potter series, and the description reads, "They are hooded, wraith-like beings that feed on human happiness and can suck the soul from their victims with a kiss. Their presence brings despair and cold, and they guard the wizarding prison Azkaban, serving as enforcers of fear and hopelessness." Look at this cool little Lego Dementor I just found. Not important, but cool. Let's see how ChatGPT does with Dementors. Dementors, medium undead, lawful evil, armor class 15, hit points 180, no regular speed, they hover with a flight speed of 60 feet. No strength, but high wisdom and charisma. Again, charisma. Okay. Resistance to necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Immunities to poison and psychic damage. Conditioned immunities to charmed, frightened, paralyzed, and poison. They have dark vision, blind sight, blind beyond this radius, and passive perception of 14. Similar to the Balrog, they understand common and infernal, but cannot speak. Here are some Balrog traits. They have incorporeal movement. The Dementor can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. It takes 5 force damage if it ends its turn inside an object. Aura of Despair. Creatures within 30 feet of the Dementor must succeed on DC 20 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened. Life Drain. The Dementor can use its action to drain the life force from a creature it can see within 30 feet. So here, ChatGPT is equating life with happiness. But if they don't succeed on a DC 20 Constitution saving throw, then they take 45 necrotic damage and have its hit points maximum reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. Here's an interesting one. Dark Flight. When the Dementor flies, it leaves behind them a trail of shadowy mist that lingers in its wake. The area in a 10-foot radius around its flight path becomes difficult terrain for 1 minute. That's really cool and unique. Let me know if you have seen any other actual D&D monsters or creatures with that kind of effect. That's cool. Any creature that starts its turn in the mist must save on with a DC 20 Constitution saving throw or take some necrotic damage as well. Pretty cool. It has multi-attack with Life Drain and Horrifying Visage as its actions, and a few legendary actions available to it, including Shadow Step, Dementor teleports up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space, Life Drain, and Consume Soul, which costs 3 actions. The Dementor targets one creature it has drained a life from this turn. The creature must succeed on a DC 20 Constitution saving throw or take 55 necrotic damage. And the Dementor regains hit points equal to half the damage dealt. That's pretty cool. If you've wanted to add a little bit more Harry Potter to your games, maybe the Dementor is a good fit for you. On to the next. This is Omega Flowey. It is from the Undertale video game, and this is the description that we are offered on Google. Omega Flowey, also known as Flowey the Flower, is a transformed version of Flowey from Undertale. In this form, he becomes a monstrous, multi-faced entity with a flower-like body and numerous vines. Omega Flowey possesses immense power and a twisted, malevolent personality. Representing a major antagonist in the game, he exhibits a sadistic enjoyment of manipulating others and revels in the chaos he creates. Let's see how ChatGPT handles stats for Omega Flowey. And here we are, Omega Flowey. He is a plant, fiendish variant, class sorcerer, wild magic, also a wizard, a necromancer specifically, chaotic evil. He has 220 hit points and the following ability scores. Scoring high in charisma, of course, but unlike the Balrog and the Dementor, this makes perfect sense. A armor class of 18 and a fly speed of 60 feet. He has a resistance to the following stuff from non-magical attacks. He has conditioned immunities, of course, blind sight, dark vision, passive perception of 20, and he understands all languages but cannot speak, which is a weird one for Flowey specifically because he does speak in the game. Omega Flowey has multi-attack here, 2 with Vine Lash and 1 with Soul Drain. Vine Lash is as expected here, and you can read it for yourself. Soul Drain, range spell attack, plus 14 to hit, range 120 feet, 1 creature. A hit is 44 necrotic damage, and Omega Flowey regains hit points equal to half the damage dealt. So a little bit similar to the Dementor there, and then we have on a DC 18 Constitution saving throw. If failed, they are also poisoned for 1 minute, which makes sense. Death Lasers. Omega Flowey unleashes a barrage of magic lasers in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a DC 20 dexterity saving throw or take 56 force damage. He has this reaction called Spore of Despair. When a creature within 30 feet attacks Omega Flowey, he can use his reaction to unleash a burst of spores. So as a reaction to being hit, they have to make a DC 20 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened. Here's another version with some legendary actions. I like these. Whimsical Flourish. Omega Flowey performs a magical dance, granting himself advantage on his next attack roll or saving throw. Soul Jester. Choose one creature within 30 feet. That creature must save on a DC 20 Charisma saving throw or have disadvantage on their next attack roll as they're distracted by the antics of sudden illusionary gesture. And finally, Petal Barrage releases a flurry of petal projectiles. Each creature within 15 feet must succeed on a DC 18 dexterity saving throw or take 18 slashing damage and be knocked prone. If you want to delight the hearts of all the youngsters out there, maybe throwing in Mega Flowey into your next one-shot would be fun, or maybe even doing an Undertale-themed D&D session or one-shot would be interesting with Omega Flowey involved. Now you can. Thank you, ChatGPT. And that's all we have today. Thank you for joining us on The Practical Dragon. Make sure you click subscribe, hit all the buttons below so you don't miss our next review and video, and we will see you next time.